Welcome to Real Talk with Ruby with your favourite bestie in the whole wide world, Ruby Dhal. Hey my loves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to see you all here. For everyone who's new here, my name is Ruby Dhal. I am an author, a writer, a content creator, a speaker, and many more things. I'm also a cookie lover and, a crazy lady. So yeah. I don't know why I think that I crack like all these funny jokes when I'm really not funny. So let's just move on. So everyone who watched the segment of Real Talk with Ruby a couple of weeks ago really enjoyed it. I got so much amazing feedback from you all. Some of you were like, I would benefit from watching these videos a lot more, and I thought, okay, let me do another segment. And after that particular video, so many more of you came up to me with your stories about, your personal issues, your relationship problems, and so on. And you wanted me to share these stories. You told me, Ruby, we want you to, talk about this on your channel so that you can help us as well as other people. So before I go into today's segment of Real Talk with Ruby, I just wanted to say that if you have a personal issue, whether it's to do with your career, whether it's to do with your personal life, whether it's to do with your love, whatever it is, send me an email on info@rubydhal.com. It will be on the screen now, and I will share your story anonymously, but with the aim that whatever advice I provide you will also be supportive and helpful to other people who watch the video. Let's just go into today's segment. I'm going to read 3 different stories that some of you sent me. These are your personal, real-life issues that I'm going to answer, so let's get into it. Also, to make these segments really interesting, more interesting than they are already, I've got my little mug here as well, so I'm going to be drinking coffee as I read out, all the different stories and all the different relationship and personal life issues that I'm going to be discussing, so that we can actually get comfortable and have a proper conversation. So if you haven't yet, pause the video, grab a coffee, get some snacks, and let's get started. So the first story that I have is one about getting to know someone and speaking to someone new. This particular person I will name Bob, just because I really like the name Bob. Okay, so Bob says, I've got a friend, a girlfriend, okay, not a girlfriend, a girlmate. And we're both in the same class. We're studying first year engineering, and we haven't met yet because our college isn't open yet due to COVID. But we speak all the time, and we've become really good friends. And over the last couple of months, we always speak, and we have shared our personal stories. We've, become really emotionally intimate with each other, and we both care for each other a lot. But the issue is that sometimes she just suddenly stops talking to me for some days. So she'll just disappear for a few days at a time. And she's got lots of mood swings as well. So sometimes she's happy, sometimes she's moody. And she's accepted this particular issue as well. She's accepted that she can change her mood in regards to me quite often. But this is causing me anxiety. This is causing me stress. I don't know how to deal with it. Please, can you answer the best way forward? Thank you both for sending your story over. So you've met someone new and you guys have become really good friends. And because you've become really good friends, you obviously have formed an attachment. Now, when you form an attachment with someone new, it's all so beautiful and amazing in the beginning. But with an attachment also comes the fear that you'll either stop talking or they'll stop talking to you, and then how will you move forward from it? The first thing you need to understand is that this is a new attachment, so you haven't met each other yet. You've spoken online, you've spoken on social media, and I completely understand that in this day and age, social media talking is just as good as talking to someone in real life. I completely get that. But you don't really know how she's going to be when you meet each other in person. So what I would do is I would hold off a certain amount of attachment, a certain amount of interest in this person for until I met them, okay? So don't get completely attached. Don't get so, head over heels in love with this particular girl without meeting her. Because meeting someone in real life is very different to, speaking to them online. Now, moving on to your actual issue, I feel like you don't really know what's going on in her personal life. So if she is disappearing for days at a time, obviously she's doing something in those days. Obviously there's something going on, and I'm not sure if you guys are at that level personally where she can tell you why she disappears. If, you think you are, then the best thing to do would be to ask her, why do you disappear for a few days at a time? What's going on? And hopefully she'll be able to tell you. with COVID and everything that's going on with lockdown and everything, it's been heavy on everyone. Sometimes we just need a break. Sometimes we just need to step away from social media and step away from everybody and just focus on ourselves. And maybe that's what this girl is doing. Maybe, she sees you as a good friend, but maybe not to the point where she can tell you, hey, listen, Bob, I'm not going to talk to you for a couple of days. Maybe she just, goes off and does her thing and then comes back. I can imagine how you, with an attachment to this particular girl, would feel, because when you are attached to someone, you can't bear the thought of not talking to them for a few days at a time. However, I feel like, she also doesn't owe anyone an explanation for why she disappears and for why she takes that time away for herself. So the next story that I'm going to read is also about love and relationships. I feel like a lot of you have these, personal difficulties in relation to loving others that, I can understand where it comes from. I can understand how much, anxiety and stress liking and loving someone can cause, but it also brings with it so much happiness. And once it does work out, if it works out, I can guarantee that, you'll have an amazing time with the person that you love. So this particular person I will name Hannah. Hannah says, my story started 2 years ago when I met the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. We both acted like we would be married, but I was just an au pair and I needed to leave to go to the US again. We agreed to stay together and do long distance until we got married. This would only be 10 months or so not too long, but we've broken up now as he isn't sure anymore. And he isn't sure anymore whether he's ready to marry, and he has lots of doubts. My heart is broken because I chose him to be the one for me. I'm trying to heal, but I feel like I can't move on. I really want to be with him, and now I'm doubting whether I should fight it or not. What should I do? Should I move on and forget about him, or should I still have some hope? Sounds amazing, Hannah. Sounds the part where you fell in love, obviously. Sounds amazing that you found someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and I don't think this is one of those situations which is literally a hit or a miss where, it can't be worked on. I definitely think this is something that you both can work on, okay? So obviously long distance is so difficult as it is. Not being able to see the person that you love for months at a time, weeks and months at a time is horrible. And to think that you guys have gone through that period of not communicating with each other for a long time at a time, for a long while in a group is incredible. But it's also really upsetting because it means that when you do have problems, you can't actually sit with each other and discuss these problems, face to face. I often think that one of the most important parts of a relationship is physical intimacy. Now, when I say physical intimacy, I don't mean, sex or whatever. I mean being able to hold each other's hand, sitting next to that person, putting your head on their shoulder, just looking at them. These are all such intimate actions, which, talking online and speaking via FaceTime cannot replace. So I think one of the biggest problems at the moment that you guys are facing, which is why he's a bit confused, is because you probably haven't seen each other in person for such a long time. So the first thing I'd recommend is, provided that there is no lockdown in your country and in his country, there is a lockdown in US, is there? I'm not sure. Well, provided that there's no lockdown in where he's staying and you guys can meet, I would suggest to him to meet once, okay? He's probably confused because of everything that's going on. I don't think that if he loved you as much as you love him, he could just change his mind about you. It's definitely distance combined with the stress of COVID and everything that's going on, combined with the fact that marriage is such a big deal and people get cold feet anyway. All of these things coming down on him at once, I don't, believe him. Obviously, I don't know him and I don't know personal relationship, but if it is all, roses and beautiful and happiness and everything, then I do think that the long distance thing could probably have a part to play in making it so difficult to make that decision. So I would advise to try and meet him, to try and, don't give up on it. Just recommend, can we meet each other in person so we can talk about this? Or just let's meet each other. Let's just forget about marriage. Let's just meet each other and then you can talk about it when you meet him. Okay, So the next story that I have is one about friendship. I'm going to name this girl Taz. And what's up with my throat? Like, seriously. So Taz has a particular friendship issue. I was reading through her story just because, like, there's so much to read. Okay, so I'll go into it and I'll read it and we'll talk about it after. A while ago, I drifted from a close friend, and it was mostly because I felt she'd gotten closer to someone else, and I understand that friendship drifts are a part of life, but for some weird reason, it's impacted me so deeply and hurt me so bad after nearly a year. I'm still hurting just as badly, and I think I've just gotten worse. I've sought help and they told me that I'm grieving over this friendship, but honestly, I feel like I've completely lost myself and feel so ungrateful for my blessings. I have so much pain in my heart and try to hide my sadness from everyone. I can't seem to find joy in my life. I think of myself as replaceable. When people are with me, I feel like every word I say will depend on whether they will leave me in the future. And I just feel like someone will always want someone better in my place. I feel so unloved and out of place, and I want to believe this is a phase, especially since I'm young. But I've noticed that I see months flying by with me feeling the same, and because of this, my mental health just keeps spiraling down. On days I do feel like I have a bit of hope, I end up becoming disappointed somehow later, and I just become sad for no particular reason. Some days I feel so drained and dead inside. I wish I was happy, and I wish I didn't put so much of my self-worth on thinking about whether people will leave me or whether leave me or not, but I see a continuous pattern of people finding someone better than me and leaving. My head hurts, my heart hurts, I wish I felt loved. There's days I feel motivated to love myself more and start to heal, although I don't know how to do that, but I thought that time is the biggest healer, but for me it's just made things worse. I know I need to take steps to heal and better myself, but I'm tired. I'm truly tired and drained. I don't want to go through another year of just feeling pain and seeing no progress. I'm scared to even trust another friend after all this pain, or in fact anyone. How do I heal? Whew, sis. Now that is a tough, very, very heavy message that you sent me. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say to you is that everything in life is contingent. And I know it doesn't make sense. Like, I know it sounds silly to say, like, it sounds silly for me to say to you that nothing is going to last forever, so you need to get over this friendship in the toughest and, most blunt way that I could. But the thing is, Taz, we believe that things are not contingent. We live our lives giving ourselves the false belief that everything is going to last forever. Our relationships, our friendships, our careers, our jobs, our moments of happiness. It's because it gives our life meaning, If I was to tell myself tomorrow that the person I'm investing time in might not be there tomorrow, it kind of devalues the time that I'm giving them right now. It devalues the love and care and attention that I'm investing into this person. In the same way, if I was to tell myself that the career that I've got right now is not going to be there tomorrow, why am I investing in my time into it? Why am I investing, all my money, everything into it? The thing is, we as human beings, deep down, we know that everything is contingent, okay? Because that is just how it is. The temporality of life it's in human existence is something that's always been the case. Nothing has remained the same, ever. But because it gives us meaning, because it gives our life meaning, believing that these things last forever, we then refuse to believe that these people can leave us. We refuse to believe that this job won't last forever, even though deep down we know, we know that it's not going to be there forever. We tell ourselves it is. We tell ourselves those people are going to be there. We tell ourselves those relationships are going to be there. And that causes us undeniable pain when those people leave and when those relationships end. I actually wrote about this in my book, Dear Self. There was a section on attachments, and I spoke about how losing attachments is a part of life, okay? You're not going to have people stay in your life forever, and that's just how it is, Taz. It's something you need to accept. Friendships don't last forever. People don't last forever. Jobs, careers, the stages that you are in your life, they're called stages for a reason. Because if your life was in just one stage, then the people that were in your life from the start of your life would be there until the end of your life. But then you wouldn't have a fluorescent life experience. You wouldn't have a colorful, absolutely wonderful life experience where you meet new people, where you learn new lessons, where you go on new adventures. And that is the whole point of life, okay? Now, what you need to tell yourself is that nothing lasts forever, okay? And how do you join that with the meaning that you attach to your life is by living in the moment, okay? So every morning you wake up, you invest your time into yourself and into the people that you care about, but you deep down need to accept that this is not going to, stay forever, and let that give your life meaning. Let that guide you and, urge you into enjoying that moment rather than putting you off, if that makes sense, okay? So rather than using, this isn't going to last forever, so why should I invest my time into it? Tell yourself, this isn't going to last forever, so let me make the most of it. And that's how you need to see every single one of your friendships. The friendships didn't end because you're not worthy. The friendships didn't end because you're replaceable. The friendships ended because that was the point at which they were supposed to end. That was the moment at which those friends were supposed to leave your life, and it's that simple. It wasn't anything to do with you. It was just because the stages of your life are such that this particular stage is one of healing where you don't need those friends. And at one point you will make new friends and you will meet new people who will, give you new shades of joy, who will give you all this kind of, happiness that you never expected for yourself. And you will completely forget those friends that, you left behind. But you need to tell yourself that even when those new people come into your life, they're not going to stay forever. The only constant in your life is you. It's that simple. The only constant is you. Every single thing in your life will be replaced. All the people, your career, your job, everything can be replaced. Just you are the constant, okay? So you need to have self-worth and you need to accept that you do deserve those friendships and you do deserve love and relationships and everything that you seek for yourself. And stop letting the temporality of life and the contingency of all these relationships determine your happiness. Enjoy them in the moment, okay? Have fun when those friends come. Have fun when you meet new people, but don't attach your worth to them. Stop relying on other people for your validation. I hope that helps. We had time to do 3 different stories today. If you do have a story for me, please send it my way on info@rubydhal.ac. info@rubydhal.com. That is my email. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I think it's because it's so hot, it's actually boiling. So send me an email and I will definitely discuss your stories. Now I'm going to do a quick a fire round of a couple of questions that you guys sent my way on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to answer a few questions that you have sent for me. Okay, so I've got a question which says, why is it so hard to stop thinking about an ex when it was only an almost relationship? Because almost relationships don't make sense to our heart. Like, our heart will either love someone or they won't love someone. They will like someone or they won't like someone. It's not gonna, your feelings are not gonna be based on the logic of, we were almost together, so I shouldn't, be as sad about it breaking off. If we had been completely together, then it would be more justified. It just doesn't work like that. Your feelings do not work on the basis of logic. So stop telling yourself that it's difficult. Why is it difficult to move on when it was just an almost relationship? And just let yourself heal. Let yourself heal as you would if you were trying to get over someone that you loved, because that is exactly what it was. I've got another one, which is how to deal with one-sided love. Oh my goodness. I have written so many pieces on this and so much. My 3rd book, which is called My Hope for Tomorrow, had so many pieces about one-sided love in there that is absolutely incredible. I'm going to read that for you. I'm going to read a piece and then I'll help answer your question. So I'm going to read it from My Hope for Tomorrow, which is one of my most favorite books. I absolutely love My Hope for Tomorrow. I love Dear Self. I feel like I really came into my skin as an author when I wrote these two books. So One-Sided Love, I wrote a piece in My Hope for Tomorrow, which is titled, You Cannot Make Them Stay. You cannot make someone love you, a lesson that I've spent months trying to unlearn because for some reason my heart and mind are still not on the same wavelength. It's simple, isn't it? Waiting for someone to love you back is like knocking on a door that will never open. It is like trying to build a life in someone else's home, but it was never yours to begin with. You're holding your heart in your palm and squeezing out all your emotions just to prove to them that you're worthy. Just to show them that in picking you, they will make the best decision of their life. as though you were a guarantor, as though someone needs proof to love you back. Love isn't a game that you can win or lose, because if it were, loving someone who doesn't love you back is a game that you've already lost. And no matter how hard you try to change their mind, you cannot. Because those who don't love you back don't know what makes you sparkle. They don't know why you're so special, and they will never be able to give you the love that you are worthy of. This doesn't mean that they don't deserve you or that you don't deserve them. It just means that you deserve different people, and that is okay. This is something you must accept, rather than chasing a love that was never yours to begin with. Because trust me, you cannot make someone love you, and no matter how much you try, you cannot make them stay. Essentially, the point is that loving someone who doesn't love you back is a game that you've already lost, okay? No matter how much you try to change their mind, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to convince them to love you, because they're not supposed to love you. Someone else is supposed to love you and give you so much love that you are worthy of. You two are just not meant to be together, okay? And often I feel like when we like someone or love someone who doesn't love us back, we often associate it with our, self-worth a lot. We think, oh my God, I don't deserve love just because this person doesn't love me back. I'm not worthy of anything because the person that I love so much is not giving me the attention and love and care that I need. It's not true, okay? They don't love you back because they're supposed to love someone else. And they don't love you back because someone else is supposed to love you. You both are just not meant to be together. And when you love someone who doesn't love you back, you don't see it in that moment. But once you get over them, once you're able to move on from them, that's when you're going to be able to see for sure. That's all for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's segment of A Real Talk with Ruby, and I hope that you got something useful out of it. As I said before, if you have a story that you would love to share with me and you would love all our viewers to see, please send it my way, and I will share it as soon as I can in the next segment of A Real Talk with Ruby. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Please share, and I will see you all next week. Oh my goodness.